Jennifer, thank you. He brings joy to kids all over the Tri-State with his Wump Mucket puppets. But happiness came from a need to find joy again. To tell us more about that journey as a puppeteer, Terrence Burke joins us now. And we'll first introduce who you have with you today.
Well, joining us today is Jackie. She's a jackalope, and she plays a queen in this summer's skit, The Knight Who Slept All Day.
Oh, so that is in performance now or in production now before?
We opened at the Ronald McDonald House last Monday to rave reviews and take it on the road next Tuesday.
We were just mentioning you were subject to it's a college student's documentary, and it really explains how you found puppeteering, and it really came from a really tough place.
It did.
Explain the story.
Well, Sean contacted me back in September of last year. He was referred to me by another puppeteer, and we chatted a bit, and he was talking about how he wanted to make a film about a creative person who worked through a problem and how they got to that and keep on doing their art. And it came from when my father passed away suddenly in 2001. I went into a severe depression to the point where I needed to see a therapist, and eventually got to the point where I had to do something really quick, and that suddenly became puppetry by finding joy and bringing it to others.
It's funny, in the movie you said it was a simple question asked to you that really kind of changed your perspective, and it was what makes you happy? And puppets is it.
It is. It's been a passion since as long as I could remember, as being a little boy. And I kind of put it on hold after junior high when I was taunted and teased a little bit about playing with dolls and puppets, and then came back to it then as a source of outlet for my creative skills. And it really allows me to write music, to write plays, to perform, to sing songs, and perform 7 different characters by myself in a half-hour show.
So that's how many puppets you have now, 7?
In the show, in the cast, we have, gosh, 10 now.
Okay. And then how many have you made over the years? Any idea?
My wife and I built them together. Laura created Jackie, and over the years we probably have not all have made it to the stage.
Gotcha.
They fell apart before that.
Some are good ideas, some are not good ideas. I get it. So it's interesting the way that it's a documentary. So your life is pretty much invaded by cameras. You have a family. You mentioned your wife. How did that go over? What was that process like?
Well, I had to clear it through them before the film crew came in, and they agreed that it was something that they wanted to participate in. We had the crew come in for a day and follow us around and see life in the Burke household. Right. My daughter was a little apprehensive. She didn't really care for it, where my son, he liked it. He really enjoyed it.
And then you were mentioning you perform now. And initially you didn't perform. You created puppets, this was your outlet, and then you're finally like, what am I going to do with all this? And you started, and then how do you perform? Where do you perform now? We
perform around the Tri-State, predominantly in libraries, in schools, and in festivals.
And for kids mostly? For
kids and families, but I have fans from a 3-year-old. Last summer I performed a show up in New York. A 93-year-old grandmother came up to me and said, "You made me feel like a little girl." And that meant so much to me, because if I can greet someone in that age group, I think job's done.
Well, that's another thing you say in the movie. You're like, this lets me be a kid again. The movie's called A Show of Hands. How can I see it?
We will be premiering it at the Northside Branch Library Tuesday, June 7th at 6:30 p.m. The film, I should say, runs about 10 minutes, and then myself and Sean, the director, are going to do a Q&A and bring some puppets along with us.
Awesome. Thanks for the time. We really appreciate it. There's the information there where you can see really several different shows is performing as well with that movie, A Show of Hands. We appreciate it, Terrence. Nice. And the puppet looks great sitting on set right here on 9
Why, thank you.
Awesome. Appreciate it. When we come back,